Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I do not have a bingo, but my rack is fairly balanced in terms of vowels and consonants, and I have scoring tiles in the K and the P. So this shouldn't be difficult to sort out. So I can play cat across here, and I think can't. Well, no, I think I prefer cat. It provides fewer opportunities for my opponent. That's 17 points. Well, still stuck with A's as my only vowel. Scoring tiles in the P and the V. Pav is a valid short word. I have an S, which is good. Cat takes an A and I and S and possibly a Y after it. Vant and avant are also good. So I've got the A for going after cat. And both my V and my P go in front of An. And my A also goes underneath AN. So I could play Pav beginning underneath KI. And the rack leave of ANST is really good, especially if I draw a vowel. KI takes an S in front, so row F is a good bingo lane. So at the moment this board has the potential to provide an open game. Okay, just 18 points for my opponent, that's good. This is what I was thinking of. Pav across here, 22 points, and the rack leave, really good. I don't draw the vowel that I was looking for, and there are no floating vowels on the board. So, slightly disappointing pickup. And I've now got two S's, which isn't good. Except it does mean that I can burn one of them to sort this rack out. So I could play lands and kips or skip. And I could also play lads in column 12, parallel to mower. So I will be able to sort this rack out, but my rack lead won't be as good as last time because I won't be keeping any vowels at all. I'm just 3 points behind at the moment, so my opponent is not zooming away. Mower takes an S and a T after it, so I may have a play in row H. So I could play stand in row H. Let me see what that scores. Rack leave isn't great, but 27 points is a good score. Through a U, I would have illusory. This looks close to a bingo. There may be other 8s available. Now, what about sailorly? I think sailorly is good, and that plays through the A of stand. So I'll need to see if that remains available. It may not. A vowel next to a premium square is always attractive. So what do I do if that's taken? I've got the LY and the ILY ending. The only floaters are in stand. And I can't see anything apart from through the A. So what have I got elsewhere on the board? Fantastic. Sailorly, not blocked. Superb. Of course, there's always the possibility that this isn't good, but I think it is. Helios66. Now through a T I would have flatmate. Unfortunately the T of 10 in row C isn't available. I've got the meta prefix. So I could have a bingo here, and if I don't, I've got scoring tiles in the F and the M. Certainly a few more floaters available now. Great, not even challenged. Now I've got the T for going in front of WO. So do I have a bingo with this rack? Do I have anything through the D of stand? I've got the ED ending, I've got the add prefix. Can't see anything there. I've got the ATE ending. Nothing's coming to mind. What about the two-letter combinations next to sailorly? WO, nothing good there. ER, possibly. So I've got the meter word. Okay, and EL unlikely as that duplicates tiles on my rack. Now I've got the F. My F can go after WO and EL. Ah, look at this. This is going to use both of my scoring tiles. I was about to put fame down, but female is better. The L is not a particularly great tile. 47 points. All those words are good. And I draw the first blank. If it was an F, I have updraft. But I can't see anywhere to play that right now. 10 does take an S after it, and Kip takes an S before and after it. So up darts, I think, is good. Well, if that's good, I will certainly be bingoing. What else do I have? So are there any floaters I should consider? Well, if up dart is good, then up darted is good, and I might as well play that straight away, because any better move is only going to be slightly better. I guess putting the P on the double letter square would be better. But time management does involve sometimes making a decision to play a move when you haven't exhausted the search for the best. Well, that's pretty good. Looks close to a bingo. And if it ends in S, there are still S lanes available in rows F and J. Sunbird is good, I think. That doesn't play at the moment. And I don't think it has an anagram. Now looking at the scores, I'm 140 points ahead. But there is a blank unseen, and a bingo or two would bring my opponent back into this game. So if I can't play Sunbird, What can I do? I'd certainly like to play off the B and the U. I can do that with dub or bud, and the rack leave of INRS is really good, especially if I draw a vowel. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see there are 7 E's unplayed. One of those would certainly go well with INRS. So, is there anywhere that I can play dub or bud? My opponent has created a ladder at the top, which has taken out the Sten hook. He's provided no new floaters. This board is now pretty blocked, apart from the bingo lanes in rows F and J ending in S. Which I guess is okay in terms of my winning prospects, because I'm so far ahead. But since this rack is bingo-y, it would be nice to keep an open board. Now, I'm wondering if I have a play through ERE ending in D. Not that I can see. I've got the the sub prefix. The trouble with this board is there are very few premium squares to hit. I could play bus, but the keep of rind is not good, especially if I duplicate any of those tiles. And the S is a bingo-y tile, so I'm reluctant to burn it for a small number of points. But this board is blocked. So maybe I can't score very much. But what can I do at all? I've got 13 minutes left on the clock. Oh well, this is quite nice. Bundu, I think it's good. Rack leave is good. I'm opening up a bingo lane, which is okay, because I'm miles ahead and there are already 2 excellent bingo lanes on the board, and this isn't providing a huge opportunity for my opponent. The score's rubbish, but everything else is good. I draw some vowels, but not one of the E's. Groof and goof are both good, and forgo. So it'll be interesting to see what my opponent does. Now I can play fog across here. Rack leaves it's not great, but it's okay. If I draw another I or another O, and there's plenty of those left, I'm not going to have a great rack. So goof would be better. But the opportunities for playing anything anywhere on this board are limited. So I think fog is fine. If I draw an E and 2 consonants, I will be close to a bingo. Great, I don't draw an E, but I do draw the second blank, and this looks close to a bingo. Sirocco is good. Not sure that plays anywhere at the moment. But I do have the S for playing in rows F and J, so maybe I do have a 7-letter bingo ending in S. I'll run through the alphabet and see what pops into my mind, if anything. Right, 16 points for my opponent. Has he provided a place for Sirocco? Renai takes nothing in front of it. Well, no, he hasn't. So let me continue with this exercise. And he also hasn't provided any floaters. The R isn't quite far enough across. Now that looks promising. But I don't think there's a 7 there. Well, through an E or onto an E I would have colour eyes. I'm looking for a 7. Wow, what about Morisco? Okay, probably not worth thinking about, since it doesn't play anywhere. Well, that looks promising. Onto an N I would have Scorpion. I've got 10 minutes left, 23 tiles unseen, so I'm not in time trouble. And this is one reason for playing updraft quickly. It gives me a little more time on this rack to look for a bingo. Well, it'll be pretty annoying if I've missed it, because although it won't be hugely high probability, it will be a word that I know. What about Corious? And that takes an S in front. Pretty sure that's good. Corious. So is there something better? Or one of which I'm more certain? Chorizos through an H. Okay, so Corious is what I've seen. I'm not totally sure of it, but I'm sufficiently sure of it to play it. It's going to open the board up. It does take an S in front, so I'm opening up column 1. There is only one S unseen. But I'm far enough ahead that if this stays on, I can certainly withstand a bingo. So, helios66. I draw an E. Just waiting to see if this gets challenged. If it stays on, I'm in good shape. I've got Avise in row C. I don't draw the S, so column 1 is available. I'm still waiting for this to be challenged. Maybe it's good. Now, great, that stays on. I was just about to look at column 5, which was a double lane, but that has been taken by my opponent. Now, I could play Visor in column 4, but with that S unseen, it would be quite good to play a lot of tiles to increase my chances of drawing it. So I'm drawn to Avise in row C. Still 3 E's unseen, so I'll probably draw one of those. So this is what I'm thinking of. Avise for 36, keeping N-O, and there are no N's or O's left, so I won't be duplicating either of those tiles. So that's 36. What would score more would be Zine across here. $52 points. But with all the vowels that are out there, my opponent's got a pretty good chance of playing in column 1. And if he does play in column 1, it will probably be a 5-letter word, which will take out the Scorious hook and this rack leave. Well, it's not too bad. A V at the end of the game is an okay tile to have because it's a scoring tile. So is there something better than either of these options? I've got 7 minutes left. Azioni is good. That would keep the V. And Vox and Nox are good. So maybe I've got to play in column 3. Well, at the moment, I'm favouring Avise in row C. I'm 170 points ahead, so I'm fairly sure this game is won. It's a case of maximising the winning spread. I do have the IZE ending, so I'm just looking at the possibilities of playing an IZE word on this board. The rest of my rack is Avon. Well, I don't think I'm going to find anything. I'm still wondering about the Zine play, but I think this may well be better. Avise66. Pretty good. I don't draw the S, but it's a balanced rack. I'm wondering if I have a bingo. I don't, but my opponent does. He could have played scarier in column 1. If Scorius is good, and I think it is. Now, do I have anything? 2 tiles in the bag. Plenty of floaters in carries, but they all have to be in exactly 3rd place. So for an ing ending word, I've got odeg. That's not promising. And I don't think I've got a 7-letter play. So, what to do? 2 tiles left. I'm 130 points ahead. My opponent is not going to bingo. There aren't any amazing spots I need to block. I'm wondering about just playing 1 tile to leave 1 in the bag. And have the possibility of bingoing. Or do I empty the bag and try and go out in 2 from here? I've got just under 5 minutes left. I find this sort of situation extremely difficult to be confident about finding the right answer. Now this appeals to me. 28 points, it's a big score. I am emptying the bag, but my tiles are reasonably bingo-y, especially with the floating R's in carries. Ooh, 2 eyes. Do I have anything through an R? Well, I do, but it's in the wrong spot. I have re-oiling, or religion, or Lygroin. So all of those slightly miss, which is a shame. So what can I do with this rack? I don't have any scoring tiles. It's not a great rack, but it's the last set of letters I'm going to see in this game as the bag is empty. My opponent's got a pretty dreadful rack. He's got a W, a U, a J, 2 I's. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. So he may struggle to go out in 2, in which case I do have the opportunity of going out in 2. I think carries, playing through carries is going to be the likely spot for both me and my opponent, except he's gone somewhere else. And I don't think he is going out. I don't think his remaining tiles make anything through the C or the R in carries. So, what have I got? Well, I could do Loring. This doesn't feel great. 16 points, i.e. I've got ice in column 2. And I have Vi in column 10, so certainly if I play this I can go out. But it's only 16 points, so what would score more? I've got 3 minutes left. I think it's worth a little look around to see if I've got something better. I could play coin in column 2, C-O-I-G-N-E. That's quite nice. Let me see what this scores. $18 points. It's a little better score. L-I certainly can go out in row O, making L-E-I. Do I have a second out with this? Well, I have oil in column 3, but not for many points. Now, is this a spot that my opponent can make good use of? Probably not. He's got 4 vowels. His U can go in front of the G, but he can't do very much with that. So I think I will play this. Probably not the best play. I've got liar in column 6 for 6 points. LEI in row O for 9 points. Oil in column 3 for 4 points. Yep, not particularly rich pickings. That sort of play, the coin play, right in the end game, is the type of play which can often cost you a lot of points when you analyse the game. $10 points for my opponent, so I've got LEI across here for 9. I've got just under 2 minutes to find something better. And I'm not going to use those minutes because I have already looked for a while and it's not going to affect the end of the game spread by much. So, LEI 9 points. Great, that's the end of the game. Final score 325 for my opponent, 478 to me, a winning margin of 153 points. Let's see what I missed. So, it was my opponent to go first. He played chin. I was torn between cant and cat. And it's still not clear to me which is better. Because cat has so many good hooks that it's not a particularly more conservative play than cant. They will probably be quite close. Pavans for 37. B12. Oh, I see, coming down column 12 beside mower. I played Pav for 22. Yeah, Pavan's probably slightly better. Now, this is where I was looking for a vowel and it didn't get one. Stan for 27 looks fine. Nice rack for my opponent. Did he have a bingo? No, he didn't. And this is where I was grateful that the A remained available for Sailor Lee. Now, did I have a bingo here? I didn't, and female was the highest score, and it looks the best. Up darted, that looks the best bingo. And not as many alternative bingos as I was expecting. Up data and up rated I didn't see, but that's it apart from up darts. This is where I had, or the only bingo I could see was Sunbird. It doesn't go, but Bundu definitely was a nice play. I found that rack very difficult to identify candidate moves, and Bundu stood out as clearly better. Figo at C7. Well, that's not good. It's placing an I next to a double letter square in a triple word lane, column 8, so I think fog is better. Right, what did I have here? Okay, quite a lot. I played Corius, and I saw Isochore, didn't realise that played. C1. Oh, I see, putting the O and the R above Renai. But in any event, Corius was the highest scoring bingo. Octroys is nice. And I certainly should have seen Kuris. But I'm grateful to have spotted a bingo. This was quite a nice rack, and I was torn between Zine and Avise. And I'm still torn. Let's see the bingos that my opponent had. Yep, just Scarier and Carries. And Degu for 28. Looks like it was best. And, wow. Well, Vigo is certainly not best because there's no guarantee of going out with the rack leave. And of the remaining tiles, or remaining choices, coin looks fine, so maybe I was being a bit harsh on myself and it's close to the best play. And finally, Lie at 01 was best. So, a rip-roaring game with a large winning spread. One of the nice things about Scrabble, apart from winning, is the variety of ways in which you can win. Sometimes you can eke out a narrow win in the end game, and sometimes you can get a big win like in this game. Certainly it's less stressful when you get a big win, and it's certainly fun playing lots of bingos. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.